Hey guys, Sonyx here. Today we're going to be going over a Season 25 movement guide for Apex Legends. Now this brand new legend, Sparrow, recently just came out, and it's really essential that you learn the fundamental techniques before you master his movement, so that way you can understand the core mechanics of this game. So that's what we're going to be going over today. Now the very first movement technique is the wall bounce. Now the wall bounce is essentially the most starter basic movement technique you'll learn in this game. To initiate the wall jump, essentially all you're going to want to do is you first want to learn how to slide jump, which is essentially just running, and you slide and then you jump. Okay? You just run, you slide, and then you jump. Now an important setting that you want to make sure you have is that you want to make sure your crouch button is set to toggle. Now basically what that means is that when you crouch, you just press it once and you stay crouched. This helps making it really easy for you to just slide jump because you could let go of your slide button when you jump. You don't have to hold it. Now you're going to want to find any wall like so, and you're going to want to make sure you run to the wall. Now as you can tell, as soon as I run to the wall, I essentially fall down if I don't keep going forward. See, if I go forward, I'm going to climb the wall. You see the difference there? The difference is that if I actually press my backwards button, you see how I fall down? That's what you want to learn how to do. You want to kind of fall off. Okay? You see how I'm getting a slight bounce now? Yeah? It's not much. The only secret ingredient here is as soon as you hit your backwards button and you fall down, all you're going to do is just jump again. Okay? That's all you're going to do. And essentially you're going to get the wall jump like that. As soon as you hit your backwards button, you just put your stick backwards, and then you jump back. That's it. See, this is without jumping. You're gonna notice I'm just gonna fall down. But this is with the jumping button as well. Okay? That's the key difference here. Now, the reason why I told you to start in a direction like facing the wall directly is because once you start doing stuff like a sideways bounce, it gets a little bit more difficult. Now, the reason for that is because you actually have to be facing the wall. So if you want to practice this, because what happens is that if you don't face the wall, you're not going to interact with the wall at all, and so you can't get the wall bounce. See what I'm doing? I have to be actually touching the wall, like getting that climb animation, so for me to actually get the wall bounce. So the difference here is that when you're doing a directional wall bounce, you're going to face the wall last second, and then you're going to turn your body to get the wall bounce. You see what I'm doing there? I'm not just keeping my vision forward. I face last second, and then it kind of bounces you out. That's essentially what a wall bounce is. And you can start pairing up, like, you know, you start pairing up your gunfire, and that's kind of how it works. It catches people off guard, and you can use this to kind of, when you turn corners, especially like this, that person is not going to expect you. Free fry, free die. Not to you, to the enemy. Now you pair this up with Sparrow, the new movement legend, and you just get some crazy movement on him. I mean, it's insane. Now the next movement technique is called the fatigue bounce, and this is a little bit different than the regular wall bounce that we talked about earlier. Because with this wall bounce that we talked about, you need momentum for this to happen. With a fatigue bounce, you can actually just be in a standstill position like this, and then pull off the wall bounce like so. I mean, this is literally crazy because you can actually stack multiple bounces together in order for you to get, I mean, it's insane. This is the unlimited wall bounce, and you don't need to be actually running up to a wall in order for you to do this. You could be standing next to a wall and interacting with it in order for you to get this wall bounce technique. Now first you're gonna find a wall, any wall like this, but I want you to go to this wall specifically because you can see this green bar here. Now, when you jump once, you see how I can reach that green bar directly where my eye vision meets? You see? That's exactly the height of a regular jump. Now, if you jump twice, you see how I can't reach that green bar anymore. You see that? Or if I jump 3 times, 4 times, I mean, it doesn't matter. As soon as I jump that first time and I keep trying to jump, I'm not going to reach that green bar anymore, except if I wait, then I can jump again. That little timing where I can't reach that green bar after the second, third, fourth, fifth, however many jumps afterwards, that means you're in fatigue mode. You can't jump higher until you wait again. Now that's the mode that you want to be in order for you to pull off this wall bounce technique. So you want to make sure you get into fatigue mode, And as soon as you're in fatigue mode, you're going to run to the wall and you're going to perform the same wall jump technique we performed earlier. You're going to hit the wall and you're just going to bounce backwards. You see that? Or you're going to bounce forward if you want to stay the same height and keep your, your same coordinates essentially. You see that? I don't go backwards. I just move forward so that way I negate myself from going backwards. So I just kind of stand still almost. Now doing this means that you can climb areas much, much faster because you don't actually have to climb this platform anymore. You see how much more time that takes? That takes years compared to actually doing a fatigue bounce where you're right on top. And now this someone's chasing you, literally free fry, free die. I'm gonna use that from now on. So this helps you with other things, not only traversing. Let's say there's a guy up here, right? It's gonna take way too long to climb up here. You see how it takes a second for you to get your gun out? Oh my goodness. Bam, you're dead already. But if you do a fatigue bounce, you see that? You see the difference? I'm exposing my body very, very little compared to actually having to climb this, and bam, your head is over here, headshot, bam, you're dead. So then when you do a fatigue bounce, your exposure is limited and you have cool movement at the same time. So to quickly recap, you want to make sure you jump once, and your second jump or third jump or whatever, bam, you can just fatigue jump right after that. Okay? You're gonna get to fatigue mode, keep jumping, keep jumping, keep jumping. You're gonna hit the wall and you're gonna jump at the exact same time. You can either move forward so you can climb that platform. You can kind of move centrally so that way you don't really move anywhere, or you can move backwards for some insane momentum like so. Now with Sparrow, look at this. You see how crazy he is with the wall bounces? I mean, he doubles the regular wall bounce and also the fatigue bounce. I mean, he enhances it in his own way. So this is why I'm teaching you the core mechanics, so that way when you play other legends who have movement abilities, it highlights and buffs their movement even more. Now, the third movement technique is called the bunny hop or the bee hop. So this is essentially keeping your momentum when you're kind of doing this little bunny hop motion. So that way you're a little bit harder to hit. You get the same momentum as if you're sprinting, but then you kind of, are able to dodge bullets. You can get into a fight much cleaner, and it kind of just adds a little style and flair. Now, before anything, go to your settings and go to your crouch button and make sure that's set to hold. I like to keep it on toggle, and I'll tell you exactly why a little bit later. But if you want to make sure you do this really well, keep it on hold, because all you're going to do is you're going to just sprint. You just hold your crouch button. See the difference now? You have to hold it compared to the one I told you earlier with the wall bounce. It's a little bit more difficult because you're not going to be able to do the wall bounce much easier. You can train your brain to do that. If you prioritize bunny hopping, this is going to be way easier to do that. So you're going to hold your crouch and you're just going to slide. That's it. And all you're going to do here is you're essentially just going to jump. Okay? You see that? How clean of a movement that is? It's really, really, really easy if you look at my binds. I'm just holding my crouch button and I'm just jumping. I hold, I jump, 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 jump. That's it. It's literally that simple. So so this helps you when you're trying to dodge bullets, when you try to, get in and out of cover really fast. So, you can kind of do a snake pattern. You see that? So it's really, really, really fluid. It's kind of one of those core movement mechanics of Apex that you just have to do essentially if you're trying to dodge cover, or even if you're getting into a fight. It really helps. Now you can learn how to shoot at the same time, and it just takes a little bit of timing like that. So you can, it's really, really, really cool, and people are gonna think you're a sweat when you do that. So just practice makes perfect for that one. Now the next movement technique is a fade slide, also known as the quick slide. Before you do anything, go back to your controller, set back your crouch button to toggle. Now this is going to make the movement technique much easier. Now I am playing Wraith because Faide did coin this movement technique. Essentially this is what it looks like. Okay, we'll do one more right here. Now, as you can tell, this movement technique capitalizes on momentum. Now, I want to explain something really, really simply here. When you have your gun out, okay, I'm going to stand here, and I try to slide. As soon as I walk, I try to slide. It doesn't let me slide. See that? It doesn't. At all. If I walk a little bit more, maybe here, yeah, like halfway towards this. Let's just say, you see that little shadow of a line right there? I have to walk all the way to that line in order for me to actually slide. Perfect little shadow there to kind of remind us, right? If you have your weapon holstered, meaning that you have your weapon away and you just have your melee weapon out, like your fist or this heirloom, look at that. Halfway. So I have to just walk that distance. Essentially, I have to walk just 50% less in order for me to slide. It's an instant slide right away. I don't have to walk, you know, all the way halfway. See, if I try doing that from this angle, it doesn't let me. Does not let me. If I have my weapon holstered, it lets me. So learning that concept is really important because this is essentially what a quick slide is. You're essentially going from a standstill position and going into a slide right away by having your weapon holstered. In order for you to do this, you want to make sure you stand at a position where you're standing still. You're going to holster your weapon, and then you're going to unholster your weapon, and then you're going to slide. You're going to do that fast enough to where the game thinks that you still have your weapon holstered while you have your weapon back. So it's going to be holster, unholster, and then slide. All kind of at the same time. So it's going to look like this. Ready? Weapon out, holster, unholster, slide. Weapon out, holster, unholster, slide. Really, really simple when you break it down like that. Weapon out, holster, unholster, slide. See how I'm able to slide jump really, really fast without even having to walk that far? I'm going to show you from this angle because this is where we were doing the teaching thing earlier. You see that? I still have my weapon out, and I have my weapon here ready to go. Now, the reason why this is really, really crucial is that you can break the gap much easier when it comes to actually eliminating your opponent. So you see this guy right here, right? Say I shoot him, right? And I try to engage much faster. I get a dead slide right away. How embarrassing is that? Shoot him, I try to slide to him, and then now I'm out in the open and that guy will fry me, I'm dead. Fry this guy, I try to slide, bam. I'm toast. So what you want to do with a quick slide is that you want to make sure you shoot the guy first, you holster, unholster, and then bam, close that distance. You do that fast enough and you're not even going to realize how smooth it is. Look. I mean, this is really one of the best movement techniques that, Faide does that beginners can learn. Is this closes the gap. Now, other ways you want to use this technique is you can kind of use it to kind of get in and out of places much faster. Let's say you have to close this gap, right? Like, let's say you have to slide jump here because you have your weapon out. That exposes your body a little too much. Have weapon holstered, bam. So that helps you kind of cover distance, makes you almost impossible. If you watch any Faide videos, you'll see he's really, really hard to track. And that's one of the ways that he does it. Now the next movement technique is a Superglide. Now this is one of the most flashy movement techniques that you can get in this game because this movement technique everybody wants to learn no matter what. So what a Superglide is, you're combining two different mechanics. It's essentially combining a jump and a slide at the exact same time. So this is a jump and then this is a slide. Now you're not able to really make distance all that much. I think we were able to just get to like this area right here. Let me show you. If I jump, yeah, I just kind of land there. And if I slide, same thing. I kind of just land there. Now with a Superglide, it's much different. Look at this. See that? I almost like double the distance. I landed all the way here. So the Superglide is really, really strong. Now you want to find a platform that you can climb. This is a little bit too advanced because it's a little too short. I'm going to teach you something that you can climb a little bit taller like this. Perfect. Now as I climb, I want you to pay attention to the climb animation. You see how I mantle this? When I'm mantling it, or as soon as I get to that mantle position, I get a tiny little shake on my screen. Now, to highlight that, I'm gonna aim down a little bit, and there, you see it. See that little shake? Yeah, you'll see it. Yeah, right there, right there. See how all those like words above me kind of shake, like that word right there.
Over there.
This top of this building, everything kind of shakes at the last second. Watch. Now that little shake is your indication to pull the Superglide off. All you're gonna do is jump and crouch at the exact same time if you're playing in controller, because there's no actual way. There's a technical difference between the two if you're playing on, you know, mouse and keyboard with higher frame rates. But if you're playing on a controller, you don't need to worry really about that because you can't really change your button actuation points, and you have to go off feel now. In order for you to do this, like I said, press your jump and crouch button at the exact same time, and then you're going to be able to hit your Superglide. Really, really simple, and it gets you in that cover really fast, so you can like get the first shot on the guy, you know, compared to actually climbing this thing, sliding. Oh, I even get a dead slide right there to make matters worse. You can slide, but you see how much more distance you cover with a Superglide, or I could do that jump thing. Still really, really slow. Compare that to the Superglide, and bam, you're there much faster. Like that. Now you can use this to kind of eliminate opponents, because when you Superglide to somebody, do you see how much distance I cover? You can use that to attack people. I mean, you're literally flying in front of them. I mean, it's quite scary to watch, honestly. Now, cool thing to note is that you can actually do a directional Superglide by just holding your directional input like that. See what I literally just held my direction to the right, and I can essentially pull off almost what a top strafe looks like. It's scary. As a controller player, the fact that you can do this, I mean, you're rivaling PC players at that point if you can master this sideways Superglide. You can go left, right, any directional input, and you're good to go. Now the next movement technique is called the super jump. Now this is a little bit different than a regular jump because the regular jump looks like this. You interact and then you jump, which is square and X for me because I play on a PlayStation controller. So this is essentially what a regular jump looks like. Super jump is a little bit different. I mean, a lot different. Look at that height here. Now this is a movement guide, by the way, guys, not an aiming guide, okay? So regular jump, right? Now, super jump. It's really, really, really powerful. You do it. And it's not one of those things where like the Superglide where, you know, oh, maybe I'll get it. It's 100% consistent if you get the timing down because it's much easier to get this timing down compared to this Superglide. Now, in order for you to do this, you want to master the regular jump first, the regular zipline jump, which is going to be interact, jump, interact, jump, interact, jump. Now with a Zipline Superjump, it's just going to be interact, jump, jump. That's it. Interact, jump, jump, which is going to be square XX if you're playing on a PlayStation controller. It's really, really, really simple, and it kind of looks like you're going to go up like one of those bouncy houses thing. It's so cool. It's so, you get so much height, so much distance from this. It's so powerful. It's not even funny. Now, if you have like a shotgun, this is probably going to be the best weapon you use, especially if you're doing the Zipline Superjump. Because, man, I mean, it's just, this is a menace doing this movement technique with a shotgun. Now, the way I recommend doing this is that if you have everything on default, you're going to press interact with the tip of your thumb, right? Now, do you see how when you rest the tip of your thumb on interact, your thumb joint already rests naturally if you're holding your controller correctly on top of your jump button? That makes this much quicker because the timing has to be really, really fast. Okay? And now you're just going to press it with your thumb joint. You're going to press jump with your thumb joint. You're going to press... So essentially what you're doing is you're pressing your interact with your thumb print, almost the tip of your thumb, and then you're going to jump is going to be your thumb joint because it's already resting naturally. You're kind of doing this weird fish-like motion with your finger. And you do that fast enough, and you could just press your jump twice since your thumb joint already rests naturally on jump. Right? Or if you want, you could just switch. You could just really, really quickly switch your thumb print, the tip of your thumb down to your jump button. It's a little bit harder that way, but if that works for you, try that. But I'm just telling you how I do it, and it makes it much, much easier. Now, the last movement technique is called the Mantle Jump. It's essentially like doing Zipline Superjump, but with a little bit more steps. It's going to look like this slowly, okay? Because what a Mantle Jump is essentially like a Zipline Superjump, but you're just going forward. That's what it is. That's all it is. Okay? You see a lot of pro players do it. They just do it really, really fast. That's why it looks really cool. But doing it slowly, same thing. It's really essentially just that. Okay? Now, there's really two ways to do this mantle jump, and I'll teach you the really, really simple way first. You're going to mantle a position like this. After you get on a zip line, you're just going to be in a mantle position. That's it. You're just going to jump off the zip line and you're going to be kind of in this mantle position. You're going to walk forward. You're going to look either up or down depending on where you can see the zip line. Right now with this zip line, I can only see up to interact, jump, jump. Same thing as what we just did 2 minutes ago. And then you're just going to zipline super jump. So that's it. That's what a mantle is. It's just kind of a variation of a zipline super jump. That's the easy way to do it. Now to do it technically the correct way, you're going to do it a little bit different where you're going to interact. And then as soon as you get to this mantle position, you're going to literally back up and then zipline super jump. Instead of moving forward, looking up, because that takes a little bit more time, this is the right way to do it technically, but it's much more difficult. Okay, I'm going to slow down the video there so that way you can see exactly the buttons that I press in order for you to do the mantle jump correctly. Now Sonic, what if I don't have time to learn the mantle jump? What if I just want to play the game regularly, okay? Now, if you play Sparrow, he essentially can mantle jump without needing a zip line. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. You see what I just did there? I mantle jump without actually needing the zip line. Because essentially when you double jump like so, you actually have to touch the ground for you to reset. But the game thinks that when you're mantling something, you are touching the ground. So all you're really doing is that you're just falling backwards and then re-interacting with a wall to kind of get this mantle jump. Now, as you can tell, Sparrow kind of elevates all the different movement techniques that we've discussed in this guide so far. He's probably one of the strongest movement characters that you can get in this game. So make sure you understand these core fundamentals first, and then when you're ready, click on this video so you can learn all the different Sparrow movement techniques. So that way you can become one of the strongest movement players in this game, and your friends will ask you, where did you learn all these cool techniques? Send them this video right here. If you have any questions about any movement or any suggestions for any future videos, comment them down below. If you did enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and please never forget to take care.